Yes, sir. Yes, cute.
What a party day today. Hey, mama, hey, I ever say. Shake your body, man, you're gonna. Hey, mama, hey, I ever say. So what a party day today. Hey, mama, hey, I ever say. Shake your body, man, you're gonna.
Hello there and welcome to the Business Weekly Show here on Citi TV. My name is Michael Ogbodu. The show is a 1-hour wrap of all the top stories that made the world of business this week. Trust me, we have interesting stuff for you today. Stay with us as we make business news fun again. Customers of the defunct fund management companies are very daring people. You know, within the week, the Securities and Exchange Commission brought out a communique cautioning these customers not to deal with a particular company, PBay Limited, that claims that it can help these customers retrieve their locked up funds at a fewer commission. SEC even added that the said company doesn't have any records whatsoever with the Registrar General's Department. Now, these customers say they will go on and continue dealing with the company despite the warning. I'm not sure what makes them so convinced this company can help them. But well, can you blame them? Who wants to have a dry Christmas? Something must kill a man. We only pray that it doesn't end up in tears.
The Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, while revealing that PBay Limited was not duly registered by the Registrar General's Department in its caution statement to the general public, also warned investors that neither the SEC nor the official liquidator, that is the Registrar General, has authorized the actions of PBay Limited. In an interview with Citi Business News, the Director General of the Securities and Exchange Commission, Reverend Daniel Ogbodu, said it will also continue its engagement with law enforcement agencies to ensure the investing public is protected.
Many people are interested in knowing what steps the SEC has taken or will take following the public interest and notice that we issued regarding a company by name PBay purporting to facilitate the access of the locked up funds of some of the investors of some of the firms that have lost their licenses. What I'll say is that typically we have a working relationship with the various law enforcement agencies. So as and when we pick up signals of some entities engaging in activities that are inimical or illegal or that threaten unsuspecting investors, what we do is to formally report to these other law enforcement agencies, and then they take it up from there.
But speaking on the recent caution note from the SEC, the Secretary of the Coalition for the Aggrieved Customers of the 53 collapsed fund management companies, Joseph Aite, admitted that members of the coalition were actually engaging PBay Limited and are hopeful the company, which claims to have connections in government, will help them retrieve their locked up funds at a fee of 2%.
So if you are in dire need of help and somebody decides to offer you a help, you will give it a thought, okay? And that is exactly what we are trying to do. What they want to do for us is that they will charge us a kind of a fee to also defray their costs just of going through the process for us. And according to them, the fee is going to be 2% of your total money that you retrieve at the end of the day. Our lawyers are currently engaging the lawyers of PBay to really make sure that we tidy up all the loose ends at the end of the day. Frankly speaking, we also aware of the issue raised by Securities and Exchange Commission saying that their checks with the Registrar General indicate that PBay is not duly registered. We've actually informed our lawyers about this. As we speak, PBay has given us their registration certificate from the Registrar General, and from what we see on the papers, it means they are duly registered.
Reverend Ogbodu, however, absolved the SEC from any mishaps that may arise as a result of future engagements between Adamant customers and PBay Limited.
Running out of gas in the middle of your cooking can be such an unpleasant experience. But it's even worse when after carrying such a heavy cylinder, you find your way to a fuel station and you're greeted with a no gas sign, like no gas saying. But you know, a lot of people across the country had to go through this experience because the Ghana National Petroleum tanker drivers went on a strike. Like, can you imagine?
Citi TV and the Western region in general have for a long time not witnessed a shortage of liquefied petroleum gas, with the Ghana Gas Processing Plant located in the region at Atuabo that currently supplies more than 50% of Ghana's LPG demands. It was anticipated that Citi TV would not be experiencing shortage of LPG. However, in the last 2 to 3 days, most LPG sales points have their gates shut, leaving taxi drivers and residents moving from one station to the other with their cylinders looking for LPG.
It has been a bad day because we need it urgently to do a lot of things. Yes. Actually, I'm supposed to go to work today, but I decided to go in the afternoon so that I can fill the gas and then do 1 or 2 things so that I can prepare for work. But for now, we have been exhausted. We need gas to do a whole lot of things.
I'm from Bob, and I came to this place. They said no gas. I don't know what to do again. I can't even go back because I've spent my transportation to this place, and they said no gas. I don't know how to do.
But what do you need the gas for? What do you do?
For cooking.
Gas is one of the essential commodities used by many for both domestic and commercial purposes. In recent times, however, availability of gas in some parts of the Greater Accra region is becoming a challenge. This comes days after earlier reports of shortage in some parts of Citi TV in the Western region. A visit to some LPG sales points within the city by Citi News on Sunday revealed that for the past 5 days, there has been a shortage of gas. The situation has forced taxi drivers and other residents who depend on the product for survival to move from one station to the other with their cylinders looking for LPG. The Ephraim LPG Gas Company Limited in Jowlu was under lock and key. The same was witnessed at the Lone Star Gas Company Limited in Medina.
Gas is what we use to do everything. And this is the first time I've experienced Awudome gas station that they don't have gas. So what they should do, and the government also should help them, so that they will do everything easy and possible so that we will get the gas. That is my worry now. Because I didn't know that they don't have gas. But as I get here, then I got to know that they don't have gas.
Like they said, like 1 week now, there's no gas everywhere. When you're going towards Kaswa or Doko way, there's more people, plenty. We need the government to help us for the gas and everything.
After visiting several LPG stations across the metropolis, I finally came across the Gold Gas Station adjacent to the Bukom Boxing Center in Accra, which had gas, but with a long queue.
We reach here, we come buy gas. How we reach here right now? So the machine where they go use for it, they say the machine spoiled. So now they don't give us, we taxi people, they don't give us. So unless they go use the guy where they go repair the machines for us, so he be wait sit down for that. So now people they shout for here say because of this thing, the machine. So that's why we did here right now.
While some customers saw the situation as one motivated by hoarding by the stations, sources close to Citi News say the shortage was as a result of the sit-down strike by the Ghana National Tanker Drivers Union. It will be recalled that the Tanker Drivers Union embarked on a sit-down strike on Thursday, October 29, 2020, to complain about some issues affecting them and to demand government's intervention. However, a press statement issued by the Ministry of Employment and Labour Relations on Sunday, November 1, said the Tanker Drivers Union has called off their sit-down strike with immediate effect. This comes after the Employment Ministry had a fruitful discussion with the union to address their concerns.
1, 2, 3, 4. Clearly, the counting was not going to end at the Goil gas station in Nungwa. Most of them with their cylinders have struggled for days without access to the product for domestic and commercial use. In order to be served early, many of them reported to the station around 7 a.m. At other gas stations at Labadi, many consumers were turned away as some gas stations had been locked up. Those who had traveled longer distances were left stranded.
As of now, I've been to 2 places. This is my second place. And they all saying they're expecting their stuff either today or tomorrow. So I don't have anywhere going. I don't want to drive around going looking for other somewhere. I don't know where I'm going to get it. This is where I used to buy mine always. So I'll wait when their stuff come in either tomorrow or whatever, then I come for mine.
This gentleman, who supplies hotels with fried plantain chips, has not worked for like a week now.
No, since I've not fried, because whenever I can use charcoal, as I said, I can use charcoal, neither charcoal or wood. Because when you use charcoal, you don't get the fire is I need to get high intensive power. I work with La Palm, going to Marot, and Kipiski and the rest.
So yeah. How much are you losing from last week, like the whole of last week?
My brother, order comes in. But because I'm not able to get the gas, I have to hold on, I have to let it go.
Meanwhile, the Ministry of Employment and Labour Relations claims members of the Ghana National Petroleum Tanker Drivers Union have resumed work after an emergency meeting to address their concerns, and that things will return to normal soon.
The outbreak of the pandemic, especially at its peak, meant the imposition of a number of restrictions. We all had to stay home, and social gatherings and the likes were all banned. In as much as these impositions and restrictions were to protect us and to prevent us from contracting the virus, it also had a negative impact on businesses like the textile industry. With no weddings, events or parties to attend, it meant people were not really going to be demanding new clothes. But now that things are gradually returning back to normal, how have these businesses in the textile industry altered their way of operating?
The Ghanaian textile industry is one of the most vibrant in the manufacturing sector. When coronavirus hit Ghana, the government set in place a series of measures to contain the spread. One of these measures was the ban on social gatherings, which in turn brought a decline in events that also caused a decrease in demand for fabrics. Some fabric merchants, like Rogue Saki, say they have not made any significant sales since March.
COVID and the lockdown, everybody was at home. They didn't need to go out. So demand for clothing and textile was completely nil, for those of us who are small scalers, but small, medium scalers. But I had an order just before the lockdown from the US, and the person told me to hold on because of the COVID, So even though I got all the things, my materials ready to start work, because I was put on hold, I had to hold on. I'm sure maybe it will have to be next year to do it.
Thankfully, other merchants have found innovative ways to reach their customers. Mr. Victor Kanse is the CEO of Integrated Social Solutions Center. He has been making tie and dye for over 30 years from the art center. Although his shop is not in a location that is easily accessible to clients, he's able to reach customers directly through social media.
Initially, we thought we could have faced challenges. Let's say we're going to lose markets, we're going to lose our clients, business is going to go down, as business has gone down for some people, in other businesses. But then, surprisingly, after the, let me say, temporary lift off of the ban on what they call it, social gathering and all that kind of a thing, we had clients who apparently, when during the time of the lockdown, they were, glued to their, their sets, their phones, their, their gadgets. So they've really got adapted to that aspect of it. And all of a sudden, it was a boom for us because I think they were going looking for designs and then this kind of online marketing stuff. So it has helped us in a way. It has helped my business in a way. You know, it has given me more insight into, you know, the use of social media. Yes, so I would say that the virus has also given us opportunity to see how, you know, interesting it is, you know, to use technology.
Mr. Okanse says social media has not only allowed him reach customers directly, it has also enabled him sell to customers beyond the borders of Ghana.
Predominantly the US of A and some from Britain and then Europe.
Kenneth Anko is the CEO of Rose Fabrics. He created an online marketplace to make it easy for fabric sellers and Makola to get access to customers without these customers physically going to the busy markets to shop.
You know, Makola is very congested. We didn't have our shop is not by the roadside. I mean, to locate us, you'd have to really come into one of the corners. And there are days where I would go stay in the shop to help my mom make sales. And I realized that I mean, all the other fabric vendors, I mean, we're selling at the same price, and they were selling the same items as well. So before people could get to you, they could actually get to the product they are looking for from other vendors. So I realized that, okay, how do I get a competitive advantage over this situation? And I realized that, okay, going online was actually an option I could adopt to. I would say our customers are all over the world. We have, I mean, our business model is both B2B and B2C. But majority of our customers come from within Ghana. We target, because we are an online business, we try to target the youth. We also try to promote wearing of African prints and African fabrics amongst the youth. Also, we position ourselves to really be a youthful brand, because with the youth, the quantities they want to buy, because they prefer variety, unlike the elderly.
Although the fabric industry has struggled over the years and continues to face challenges, these innovators prove that there are opportunities within the challenges if we are able to leverage technology to get access to markets beyond our immediate environment.
Telling Ghana's business stories, Citi TV brings you a dedicated business news bulletin that showcases the business temperature of the country in one go. The business dashboard, the markets, industry, and policies that affect the way we do business, all covered in one bulletin. The business dashboard, 7 p.m. every weeknight on Citi TV.
Another group of persons whose businesses were impacted by the pandemic are event decorators. Now, at the peak of the pandemic, where everybody is just trying to survive and stay alive, who is thinking about attending a party or even organizing one? But now that things seem to be improving, how's business for them like?
In Ghana, one business that really suffered following the outbreak of COVID-19 in March this year and the subsequent ban on social gathering, including parties, weddings, seminars, funerals, among others, are those in the decor business. This is because all activities ceased following the outbreak of the pandemic. However, since the easing of some restrictions by President Akufo-Addo, the decor business is gradually picking up in the Sunyani municipality. Victoria Kunadu, Chief Executive Officer of AORI, has been speaking to Citi Business News.
In fact, the past 1 month or so, it has been very, very busy for AORI Deco, because every single week we have programs, sometimes crash of programs, 2, 3 in the same vicinity, or sometimes you have to travel out of Sunyani. It has been good so far. With regards to the price, we are all aware that the aftermath of COVID-19 has pose a lot of challenges in the business sector and everywhere. So sometimes we are considerate we are considerate and we reduce our prices just to satisfy our clients.
The situation was not different at Pat Catering Services. Business is currently picking up.
Business but within a week, it will never twice. Over the name my dear. Be a week in United weddings, a year, a workshop, but after COVID, apart from
Teresa Rita Akins of Mama Tess Decoration says they've been receiving orders from their clients.
Yafina Yamina Daruma, a banka cray, be crying a maya, Medeko Akoye Ubi Jumi. Tieshe, the Yami Bay, a hodini na fiami. Tieshe, the cano obey Yamahi. Says yes, can you Tinipana ba? I work now, no so bad try so baby too down because when be too down, I own to me yet. And I was one, yes, I was in your bindi. Until say, fun the my price no fool. And to say, first now COVID in bay, no. See, there may be a difference, boom.
Dear business owner, we know times have been very hard for you, especially since the outbreak of the pandemic. But please, if you owe Maslow, try and pay them soon because they need the money to help other businesses who are also struggling. Thank you.
Businesses, especially startups, often rely on the microfinance and small loan center for financial support. Over the years, there have been concerns over how some beneficiaries are reluctant to pay back loans they take from the center, a situation which results in financial loss to the state. Although the current management of Maslow says it has put in place enough measures to address the trend, the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic has had a toll on these efforts. CEO of Maslow, Stephen Amwa, disclosed this to City Business News.
COVID-19 is actually impeding our progress in terms of recovery, but I'm sure very soon it will be over and the Maslow will pick up because we're doing very well when it comes to recovery until we had this natural disaster. But I think for now, recovery rate is not as high as we're expecting. We're doing 90 and it came to about 60 something, and now it's around 40 or 30 something, but it's because of the COVID. But the measures put in place, one of which is what we are doing today, will ensure that we can improve recovery.
Maslow is embarking on a decentralization drive to make the provision of micro and small loans for startups and small businesses faster, easier, and more accessible. The commissioning of a zonal office at Crowfrom in Kumasi, according to Maslow, will help ease congestion at its regional offices.
We are actually trying to decentralize our processes and reduce centralization, which of course creates bureaucracy, you understand, and hamper access. So we are doing this to make sure that at least turnaround time, the time between application and receiving your funds will be reduced, and also ensure effectiveness and efficiency, because once you reduce the complexity and the cumbersome nature through which one can access funds, you also ensure effectiveness and efficiency and make the work very easy. And that's the reason we are putting up this.
Traders within the Kumasi metropolis say they will form unions to regulate their acquisition of loan facilities from the Maslow.
Na yedi be ye adwuma ye adwen say ye de ye group no ye bi enti ye be ye say ye be pe group ye de ye beje said ye be ya ye beje be boa ye be ye adwuma na ye de aboa ama bibia akoso.
A number of years ago, it would have been difficult to find made in Ghana goods in major supermarkets, but now things are changing. You will conveniently find a Made in Ghana stand in a number of supermarkets across the country. So anytime you visit a supermarket, do all to check out the stand and pick up a few things. At least you will be helping protect the economy while preserving the business of the local producer.
See Ghana, wear Ghana, eat Ghana.
was the tagline which accompanied a campaign launched by the Ghana Tourism Authority in 2017 to promote made in Ghana products. But how do we eat Ghana when a majority of supermarkets in Ghana are inundated with imported goods? A survey conducted by international advisory firm Confidence in 2019 on made in Ghana goods sold in Ghana's leading supermarkets showed that only 18% of goods in 23 product categories surveyed were locally produced. It covered 8 leading supermarkets in Accra, including ShopRite, Game, and Malcolm. The survey focused on 23 main products categories and showed that cosmetics had the least representation of around 6%, while dairy products led with 25%. In the same year, the Ministry of Trade and Industry made an appeal to Ghanaian supermarkets to dedicate stands and shelves to products solely made in Ghana or to make sure they are openly displayed for shoppers to easily see. Head of Domestic Trade and Distribution at the Ministry of Trade and Industry, Doris Mensah, spoke to Citi Business News on the appeal.
The made in Ghana products, we have gone through all the shopping malls to have a survey. It is a survey to see the number of made in Ghana products that are in our shopping malls. We have gone around. We went to all the malls to see, but then where the product is also located is another thing. We want our products, made in Ghana product, to be on top of the shelf, where as soon as you enter the shopping mall, you can see all the made in Ghana products in there, not below the shelf.
Citi Business News visited some leading supermarkets in Accra to find out how they are going by the directive. After a visit to 6 different supermarkets, it was observed that made in Ghana goods received some prominence, occupying the top shelves, while their foreign competitors occupied the lower shelves. At the Achimota Malcolm branch, there is a dedicated Made in Ghana stand. Floor manager Anita Elliott tells us more.
The reason why we made this stand, as soon as you enter the shop, we have to welcome you with our own products instead of the foreign products. So when it comes to Achimota Malcolm, you get so many staffs from Made in Ghana. Yeah, that is why we have this stand here.
For Victoria's Lord supermarkets in Achimota, although they do not have dedicated stands for made in Ghana products, they made the efforts to stock goods made in Ghana. Let's hear from Martina Enum.
Some 1, 2, 3 people. Like they need, do we have any made in Ghana products or something like that? Then we said, yes, we have some. And we just show them what we have.
We also spoke to some shoppers who tell us their preference of goods when shopping.
10% or 20% of what I choose are made in Ghana. The rest are mostly foreign goods. It varies, but then the point is that I'm always looking out for quality. Yeah, I'm a Ghanaian, I'd love made in Ghana goods, But then the point is, sometimes the foreign goods beat Ghanaian goods in quality. And then
made in Ghana, I would think 50-50 because I'm a foreigner. So sometimes I can come and look out for another country to see, but Ghana product first.
Can you imagine buying a product from a supplier to resell and you end up having to compete with that same supplier because he's also into reselling? That is definitely not a level playing field. How on earth are you going to beat their pricing? But this is the reality of souvenir branding operators here in Accra and their Chinese counterparts who they buy their products for.
For every celebration, event or wedding, there is an opportunity to make the occasion memorable. One sure way to do that is to brand some everyday items with a name, an image or a quote as a gift for guests. Companies have also tapped into this opportunity to make their brands visible. From branded notebooks to branded mugs, cups, and the very popular one, branded flags. The business has thrived for years, and emerging technology has only made the business more competitive. Citi Business News visited some companies in the branding business to find out the state of business.
The COVID has affected a lot of people, and people don't have the funds they have that they would have invested in this month. And because of the COVID too, some of the materials we use in our production, some of them are not coming in. So the ones we have here are on a higher side. So it tends to make people not do the quantity they want to do. So like it won't cover exactly, but it will be halfway. So because of the COVID and things are out of stock and people are hoarding the ones they have here and increase the prices. Yes.
Yes, some of the key rings, the pens, the flags too. Also, they are the ones that brings money because people do it in large quantities. You're talking of the key rings. You want to do key rings, you can't do common key rings like 5 or 10. You do maybe 200, 300, 400. So those ones brings a lot of money. Yeah.
Let's say car branding or T-shirts for a particular political party. For instance, you need to get the shirts before you go into the colors of the particular party, and then the cost itself, what you are going to get out of what you are going to do.
The business owners say the once vibrant space has been taken over by some foreign nationals. They say, being the suppliers of the raw materials themselves, the Chinese and Lebanese operators have a competitive advantage over the indigenous businesses operating within the space.
They try to compare the price in Ghana to the outside world, like, oh, me or China, this is what it cost me. Meanwhile, we don't produce T-shirts. You understand? So you need to buy the shirts, and then you get. When you want to brand a car for a particular party, one, you need to look at the size of the car, and then what will go into it. Now the Chinese are competing as serious. The Chinese in the just here, they are just competing us, and then we don't know what our leaders are doing about it. They are supposed to bring materials in, but they are now doing everything. They are printing to the people as well, the Chinese and the Indian countries.
With the introduction of these Chinese flashing our market, the raw materials, they bring themselves, and they are also doing the same printing. So, with the pricing, they are always ahead of us because you can't beat them with their pricing. Because at the end of the day, sometimes you need to buy their materials to come and do your work. So with the pricing factor, with that aspect, we are really suffering.
But with the December 7 elections fast approaching, there is a glimmer of hope that revenue will pour in as a form of compensation for the losses they made in the last 7 months.
Everything moves and it's periodical. So like this year is an election year, so the shirts, the nose masks because of the COVID, and then what else? The caps, flags, hankies, pens, all this, but the shirts the most because it's an election year. Everybody has to be in the attire to support each party. So those are the things that move more. And also it's an end of year, so churches and other organizations will be doing their end of year wristbands, notepads, all these things for their conferences and all that. So basically everything moves. It's periodical. So
for printing business, it's a promising business. It's like every business. You have the ups and downs, but it's something that it has a future. Yes, depending on when the technology goes, you also go with the technology because it's some kind of printing might fade up. You need to also, there's a new one coming up. You need to also attach yourself with it because we have the way of engraving with the laser and all the stuff. So now we don't do much of the screen printing. All is going digital. So when it's moving from this analog stuff, you know, it's also going to go to the digital side.
A number of years ago, going to the internet cafe was the in thing. Even though the dial-up internet was dead slow, it could take you minutes just to check your mail. But well, for those of us who were in school back then, closing time was fun because we got to spend time at the cafe playing games. I was a Mortal Kombat champion. But now that technology has advanced and with your smartphone, you can do almost anything that you would have originally gone to the cafe to do. How is business like now for cafe operators?
About 10 to 15 years ago, one of the major ways by which people could send emails, browse or carry out any online activities on the internet was to stop by an internet cafe. Internet cafes were important places to go get connected to the rest of the world because they brought the internet closer to everyone. But in recent times, the increased usage of mobile internet and advancements in technology permeating all levels of society has led to fewer people having the need to go to any cafe to surf the net. According to the National Communications Authority, as of November 2015, Ghana had over 35 million active phone lines with access to mobile internet. This development has led to a slowdown of the internet cafe business. When Citi Business News visited Membo Cafe at Laboni in Accra, the place was almost empty. Charles, the operator at the cafe, confirmed that on an average, the cafe could receive only 10 customers in a day, which wasn't so years back.
My business has not been like it is before, because when I was growing up and I was going to cafes, it was not like this. It was like a full place. But now, a lot of things has changed. More smartphones and others. So people tend to do whatever they can do on the computer in their house on their mobile phones. They can even type their Word documents, everything on their mobile phones.
At the Judah Cafe at La Paz in Accra, patronage looked a bit better. According to Derek, they have had to engage in other activities such as the sale of shoes and irons to sustain the cafe, which brings in less revenue.
For the internet cafe only, I can say the profit is not all that much, because the internet, everybody can access the internet. But because the other stuff like the photocopy and the other things, the name is okay. So guys, we sell slippers here. And we also sell people prepaid. Yes. And we also sell irons. We do laptop repairs, installation. We do a whole lot. We do registration outside the cafe. We do registration. If you want to, US lottery and what do you call it, Canada lottery, a lot.
But how much do these internet cafes charge for their services to be able to survive amidst the low patronage?
5 hours for 5 CDs, 2 hours for 3 CDs, 1 hour for 2 CDs, 30 minutes, 1 CD, 50 pesos, and then 20 minutes for 1 Ghana CD.
For the desktop, 1 hour is 2 CDs and 30 minutes is 1 CD. But for the Wi-Fi, an hour is 4 CDs, 30 minutes is 2 CDs. But there are some cases, the iPhones, they come to do updates. For those ones, 1 hour is 5 CDs and 30 minutes is 3 CDs.
One would wonder, how safe are these internet cafes? In an era where cyber attacks are on the rise, logging in personal details on public devices seems like an idea many people would not want to conform to. But these operators tell Citi Business News that measures are in place to ensure cyber protection and security for their customers.
There's a deep freeze on the machine. Deep freeze is a software when you install it on a machine. Anything you do on the machine, as soon as the machine cut off or as soon as the machine restarts, what you are doing will automatically leave. So if another person comes and log into the system, you won't be able to see what you did earlier. And as soon as it goes off or a time has happened, it goes off, when we open it, your email will log out automatically.
I am the system here. Like, I don't know how to put it. I'm the one controlling all the machines here. So if your time is out, I can log everything out here for you. Yeah. Delete everything out here so that no one will be able to get access to it. Or I can afford you maybe 5 minutes or 3 minutes to just log everything out before you go.
But how do people feel about patronizing internet cafes in this era of powerful mobile devices and improved internet services? Some customers at Judah Internet Cafe spoke to Citi Business News.
We all know the high data costs in our country here. So most of the times we come here to reduce our costs. Because for the internet here, you have high speed here and you can easily download whatever that you are looking for within some minutes.
Truth be told, if I had, I wouldn't have even come to any cafe in the first place. But I'm even working on getting in any of those those we have in Ghana, like the 4G routers, Surfline, BC, Telesol. But until then, I stick with what I have.
When I have something to do and my phone cannot do, so I just pass here to do it and get back home.
Now let's do some energy-related stories. You know, Tema Oil Refinery, TOR, is the country's first refinery and probably one of the first on the continent. But things aren't looking so good for the entity at the moment. It has been bedeviled with a number of challenges, including financial ones. And staff of the company blame its current state on management, describing them as incompetent. But management thinks otherwise. However, some stakeholders think that to address the challenge of TOR, political interference in its operations have to be halted immediately.
Workers of the company here are staging a protest demanding the dissolution of the board of directors over what they termed as incompetent management of the facility. Many of the workers here are clad in t-shirts, red t-shirts with red armbands, and are wielding placards with inscriptions such as the board must go, amongst others. According to the workers, apart from some minimal production that goes on as and when there is a contract, there has not been any major production here for close to 2 years, and for which reason they are calling for the board of directors to be sacked. And so I have with me here the chairperson of the Ghana Petroleum Chemical Workers Union, GTPC, WU, Sewa Duncan Williams.
We are calling government to dissolve the board because, as far as we are concerned, the board has failed us. As my co-chair said earlier, the board has failed us from beginning to the end. They have been here for 4 years and they cannot boast for anything. So the government should dissolve the board. That is what we are asking for. And when the management also misbehave, they will follow them. You know, nothing is going on as we speak.
The place is like a cemetery.
And they are behaving like the board. So if they also don't sit up, we will come for them as well.
So I have with me also Bright Adongo, who happens to be the chairman of the Senior Staff Workers Union of the Tema Oil Refinery. He's going to tell us why they are calling for the board to be dissolved.
We have organized this protest because the board of Tema Oil Refinery, we believe that they have failed the refinery. The reason why we are saying they have failed the refinery is that when this board took over, they were given a mandate to help recapitalize the refinery, a mandate to change the state of the refinery, a mandate to give a new lease to the refinery. That's right. Yet, when we realized that things were not going on, the workers went out of their own job description, partner management, made proposals like natural gas, like committee reports, cost cutting, while the decline in patronage. We made all these proposals to management. Look, the interesting point is that most of the proposals didn't need a single dime of a resource to implement them. Yet the board was not able to exercise oversight responsibility in terms of check and balance, in terms of control on the management to be able to implement it, to change the cash flow structure.
Management of the Tema Oil Refinery TOR has debunked claims by the workers of the refinery that, among other things, the current board has made no significant contribution to the growth of the company. According to management, the current board has made enough progress, including payment of TOR's outstanding 1 billion Ghana cedi debt accrued between 2009 and 2016. On Wednesday, the workers who staged a peaceful protest at the company's premises stated that they have given the president a 1-week ultimatum to dissolve the board of the company over its incompetent management of the refinery. They also said that, aside from the minimum production that goes on in the refinery, and as and when there's a contract, there hasn't been any major production for close to 2 years, hence their call for members on the board to be sacked. But a press statement issued by TOR on Thursday absolved the board of any blame, stating that despite the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on the global refinery industry, management of TOR has held on to its workforce, even though the financial impact of the COVID-19 pandemic has been felt across the globe and in many cases with devastating impact on businesses.
We're about to change your Sunday night for the better.
The reality is after school in Ghana,
you're on your own.
You're on your own. Where are you going? The job that you are getting, you can't afford your transportation. You have to pick your truck.
Rent.
No matter how rich you are.
You have to go to the salon.
Yes. You have to go to the salon. Like, no matter how rich you are, unless your parents are buying your car, everything, right after school, life hits you hard.
We will bring you the most captivating guests and explore the most amazing stories.
It was petrifying, terrifying than what you people saw on camera, because I think the video was about, I can't remember, 8 or 6 minutes. The whole incident was about 2 hours. So one car was chased out of my neighborhood by my neighbors with cutlass.
They came to your house?
So he marched me outside.
Naked?
Naked.
We will dazzle you with real-life situations and examine mind-blowing topics.
You take us out, do that. So, yeah. Oh,
Nice one.
oh, no, this looks good on me, you know that? I feel like it's looks good. I know this is good now.
Ezra chapter 2, verse 12. The children of Akzad, 1,222.
Join me, Frema Binyame,
And me, Atokwamna, every Sunday at 7 p.m. on Citi TV. Are you ready?
Upside Down, every Sunday, 7 p.m., only on Citi TV.
Upside Down is proudly brought to you by Vodafone Ghana.
The future is exciting. Ready?
Ghana's agriculture sector is a thriving one, even though it does not feed the entire country. A major drawback to this is post-harvest losses. A large chunk of what we produce are lost on the farm, and the rest are destroyed in transit. To address this, the Ministry of Agriculture says it's putting some systems in place.
The Ministry of Food and Agriculture has in recent years embarked on a number of initiatives to increase the production levels of farmers across the country and boost sales to help reduce post-harvest losses. This menace has been one of the major challenges of Ghanaian farmers. A lot of them are limiting the level of investment they make into the farms because of the lack of a ready market for their produce. The Ministry for Food and Agriculture says in order to reduce post-harvest losses and increase production, some initiatives have been introduced to the benefit of some farmers in Ghana. The farmers include the 2019 regional and overall best farmers in the country. The initiative, they say, will expand the marketing terrain of farmers. Lawete Tete is the Director and Human Resource Manager at the Ministry of Food and Agriculture.
The rate of post-harvest losses is so high. So we've thought of it and we said that no, we realized that one of the things we have to do is to emphasize more on the processing and marketing, because we realize that when it comes to produce, stuffs are produced, they are left to the producing centers. No, it's difficult to send them. You find few people engaged in marketing, so we are encouraging. So one of the things we are doing is to review the curricula for extension, so that the extension service staff will understand the business of agriculture. So they will teach farmers something like record keeping. Record keeping, we realize, is key. How to process some of the food. Most of the food we produce, we can process. For now, our opportunities are limited. And one of the things we can do is to engage in agribusiness, marketing, processing, and all kinds of things that will add value to whatever we produce on our farms.
According to Lawete Tete, women will be trained in areas that will boost their marketing skills in order to encourage them to expand their list of clients. The Registrar of Scholarships at the Scholarship Secretariat, Kingsley Ajiman, indicated that in order to expose farmers to new opportunities in agribusiness, the farmers will be taken through days of training to prepare them for a broader market. According to him, it will go a long way to increase their capacity.
Farmers are not giving just cutlasses and pickers and other things. Rather, the capacity of the farmer was to be improved, because knowledge is power. You can give them cutlass and tractors. If they don't know how to operate it, what becomes of them? So there was a need to expand the status quo. There was a need to bring in new ideas. The idea is that we need to improve the capacity, because new technologies are coming in. There are now more innovative ways of doing that. But because of the massive improvement on a massive investment in agriculture.
Now let's talk about fruit. We are blessed as a country to have them in large quantities, like from coconuts, watermelon, pineapples, and the list goes on and on and on. And the great part about the fruits is that in their bumper season, they can be very affordable. Like, I remember buying a whole ball of watermelon for 2 Ghana cedis. But you know, the downside about the bumper season is that a lot of these fruits end up going to waste. But you know, one way of maximizing these fruits and ensuring that so not much of them go waste is to convert them into fruit juice. And you know, we spoke to a number of businesses who are doing really interesting stuff with fruits. Like, one even turns the fruits into vinegar. Take a look.
In his attempt to help Ghanaians maintain a healthy immune system to overcome the coronavirus pandemic, the President, Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, advocated for the consumption of local hibiscus juice. This gave a new validation to the benefits of our local fruit juices. For entrepreneurs who have been making juices in the sector and actively battling the stigma attached to locally made goods, this was a relief. Yaganoma is the founder of Wanjo Foods. She has been exploring innovative ways to create drinks, wines, and jams out of hibiscus.
I started with processing bisap into not just drinks, but other things like jams, vinegars, and syrups. And then I added tamarind, also with vinegar, and then the drink. But we are also looking at things like dawa dawa, baobab, which have a lot of nutritional benefit.
Michael took over his parents' pineapple farm and added value to them to bring young Ghanaians easy access to pineapple juice. He uses direct marketing to reach his clients, who are early to middle level workers, conscious of their health, and place premium on the natural nature of the things they consume.
In the early days, it caught on. I'll say in the early days, we took inspiration from Refresh. I don't know if anybody would remember Refresh back in the day. Yeah, it was the best box juice back in the day. And anytime we made juice, we sort of like, this is just a little bit like Refresh. And we got to a point where we said, no, this is even nicer than Refresh, because we realized Refresh was pasteurized, and this is not pasteurized.
Beyond being delicious, one thing that differentiates local fruits from the imported ones are their nutritional benefits. Yaganoma explains how consumers' perception towards made in Ghana juices has changed over the years.
In terms of stigma with our products, I think the stigma is coming down with local products. More and more Ghanaians or should I say more and more of the working class and the elites are beginning to see that the local products are actually better for us than the foreign products. And it's because hospitality industries have come on board, to serve it as either delicacies or an experience. So people are willing to actually put money on it because of where it's being sold. When I started, it was very difficult to get people on board. So I did not start with a mass market, and I still do not try to serve the mass market. I started with a niche market.
In Nima, George produces pineapple juice and tiger nut juice for young people at an affordable price. He shares the nutritional benefits of fresh, locally made juices.
This is pineapple ginger. And this is tiger nut atadrin. Yeah, it boosts your immune system. All boosted your immune system, especially the ginger, the pineapple ginger. It goes well with you. And then the atadrin, it wakes you up every morning. When you get this atadrin, master, don't go there. Especially when you get this atadrin and mijingoro, which is bitter cola. When you get it and take one of bitter cola and then take one of this bottle of atadrin, master, madam, don't go there. You are going to make it. And then when you add the date, the date will also boost the sugar, then you feel it okay. So you don't need to put sugar. When you put sugar, people will get problem.
While there is a growing demand for local juices, the affordability of the imported juices gives them a competitive advantage over the local ones. Michael believes that with tariffs on imported juices, the local juice could scale beyond the borders of Ghana.
There are some import of some drinks coming into. I believe if there's a high tariff for them so that we can have opportunity to sell more, or even give us the exclusivity to just ban them and we could take over, and this will help us export our product, because I don't know why you be in Ghana and you want to buy something outside when Juice Guy is available. We have the best. We can match series, we can match the Don Simons, and I'm not even hyping, but this is better than them, because this is fresh fruit juice, this is not pasteurized, this is not boiled, no additives, and I believe we will be able to take Ghana to the next level with when these products are being exported.
Plastics. What do you do with them when you don't need them anymore? You know, a lot of our plastic waste, from our pure time sachets to our bottled water, end up finding their way into our gutters, and they end up choking them and leading to floods and the likes. Today we are going to tell you a story about a gentleman who turns wigs into bricks.
When government said it was considering placing a ban on companies that produce plastic bags in 2013, Nelson Borton, whose company was one of such, decided to divert into the production of pavement blocks and Lego bricks for building instead. His raw material, waste, plastic waste. Now Plast Eco Ghana Limited has since 2015 been into the production of these building materials. According to them, this will also help to address a huge social problem in the country, waste collection.
The journey has been very difficult, looking at how green businesses are treated here in Ghana. Easy access to loan and grants is very difficult. So we started by our own profit that we were getting from the polybag to establish this. We've received some few grants from UNDP, SDF, GCIC, and SEED. That is also helping us in our operations. We did a paving block for car parks, school compounds, individual homes, and also the Lego bricks for building affordable housing.
He tells me the company, which is located in Ashia Mine, has 64 direct employees and over 300 indirect employees, of which 98% are women.
So these are waste that we receive from outside, from Nestle Ghana Limited, from Weave Ghana, the ladies' synthetic hair. We receive all of them and we use them for the production of the bricks. So when they come here, we scale and pay them according to the weight of the plastic they were able to collect in a day. Then the waste will be crushed and washed if necessary, then mixed with sand.
But how receptive have people been to buying his products?
In a day, we are doing between 1,000 to 1,500 of the paving blocks, and the Lego bricks, we are doing 300 of that in a day. We sell per square meter is 36 Ghana cedis, but the Lego bricks is sold for 3 cedi 50 pesos. That is 6 inches. And the 5 inches is 3 cedi. We have a very high demand. Like I said, our capacity is very small. Our collectors have the ability to take about 20,000 kilos of plastic waste from the environment, whilst we can only process 3,000 kilos of them. The bricks, we have the capacity of moving to 5,000 bricks a day. But the problem we have is lack of equipment to produce more to satisfy the demands of our customers.
From piles of rubbish to a strong standing building, Nelson Boateng believes his company, with the right support, can undertake big ticket transactions that tie in with government's projects, including affordable housing.
We are now putting plans on how to engage the government so we can take these schools under trees.
That'll be all for this edition of the Business Weekly Show here on Citi TV. For more news updates, please check out our website, citybusinessnews.com. For more of the latest in the world of business on television, don't miss out on the Business Dashboard 7 p.m. sharp every weekday. My name is Michael Ogbodu. Thank you for watching. Catch you same time next week. And as always, stay informed.
This Sunday on the Upside Down Show, we have a conversation with Ghana's #1 harmonica player, Elom GH. And later, we talk to Madam Elizabeth Asantewaa, the woman who was seriously injured in the assassination attempt on Ghana's first president, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. It's all right here on the Upside Down Show, this Sunday at 7 p.m. only on Citi TV. Upside Down is proudly brought to you by Vodafone Ghana.
The future is exciting. Ready?
Footprint is sponsored by Bethel Logistics Company Limited, experts in shipping logistics.
Hello, welcome to Footprint. My name is Samuel Atamensa. Last week we started something wonderful. We had a nice conversation with Professor Agyeman-Badu Akosa, and if you missed that one, you better go on YouTube and look for it, and then while you join us for this one. So today we are here to have the second episode of what we started last week. Welcome to the program. We'll take a short break. When we come back, there will be the time to talk to Professor Akosa. Now, this is Professor Akosa, the young doctor practicing in Kolebu. So you did your is it housemanship?
I did my housemanship in Kolebu.
In Kolebu.
Department of Medicine and Department of Surgery.
Surgery. Yeah. Okay. Surgery is at the time you had Dr. Adomako Mensah and the rest there.
Adomako Mensah was in orthopedics.
Orthopedics,
we had Professor Bedu, we had Mustafa.
Yeah, Dr. Mustafa. Dr. Mustafa.
Oh, yeah.
That was neurosurgeon.
Yes.
Yeah, I still remember him like that in his white robe.
And there was,
but at the time, I think he was the only.
He was the only neurosurgeon. Now there are a lot of neurosurgeons.
Oh yeah, wow. So young man, doing time in Kolebu, but how was the experience itself?
Let me say something that I think that the medical school at that time was a medical school that you could compare to any medical school anywhere. We had good teachers, devoted teachers, and in the practice, again, it was theory to practice. Wonderful. I think that was why people who came out of University of Ghana Medical School could cut ice everywhere. And for a very long time, to today, anywhere they go, they shine. They shine. So, having finished house job, I had made up my mind that I was going to do pathology. And the reason why, initially I wanted to do medicine, I wanted to be a physician. But then a young pathologist came from Leeds University called Tony Franks. And Tony Franks was in Kolebu for 1 month. And he changed me completely.
Wow.
He attended every meeting, very composed, but the knowledge that came out of his head was phenomenal. And I sat down and I said, the key to life is knowledge. Pathology is the science of medicine. So if you do pathology, you know where the disease is coming from, what brought it, how the disease reacts with the body tissues and everything. And so I decided to do pathology. But everybody felt that pathology was too difficult. I couldn't do it. And the head of department said I didn't get distinction in pathology, so he wouldn't accept me. I said, hey, my first degree there was head also. Second degree,
that's all.
The couple, no. So luckily he went on sabbatical, and I got accepted. And when he came back, I was in the department, and he wasn't happy, but he soon realized that it would have been a mistake if they had not taken me into the department.
Wow.
So we did 2 years here, good grounding. I was on autopsy duty every day. Every day I did 20 autopsies.